RAAM Show.
Well, hello, it's Lee Kreider here with another episode of the Ohio RAAM Show. And I, at the moment, am all by myself because we just kind of screwed our times up and Jim's got something else going on, so he couldn't be here at the moment. But we'll get on with it. The Ohio RAAM Show is a show about ultra cycling and, well, anything else we happen to think we want to talk about. But we've got some special guests here today, and we're just really excited to be here. We want to say thank you to all the people who run the staff time stations here in Ohio. Time station 41 in Oxford, 42 in Blanchester, and 43 in Oxford. Wonderful people. They give us the energy to keep this going. Now, we've said that we were going to have a little surprise. And so that in mind, I'm going to bring one of our best friends on here, Shu Pellinger. Shu, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you, Lee. How are you?
Thank you for being here. We have called Shu our peripatetic host. That means she'll be here once in a while when she's not going to parish council meetings, painting her windows. That's what you've been doing. Gardening, taking care of the neighbor's horse, or what all the other things you do, Shu.
All of the above, Lee. This is a very old house in England, and we're dealing with lots and lots of problems at the moment. Windows that are falling apart, a leak in the kitchen where the whole floor is going to come up, hopefully next week. A septic tank that doesn't work, and half the electrics have just broken. So it's all good.
Other than that, everything's fine, huh?
Yeah, but we're looking after an old property so that tourists to England can see something pretty in the village.
we like that. I have to say, I watched this show called Escape to the Country. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's on. I assume it's on in England.
It is, yeah.
And I love looking at those old houses, but I wonder how many windows they have to fix in them things. But they look pretty nice on television, at least. Shu, we're glad to have you. And we're hoping you can be here as much as you can without extending yourself too much. We think you'll make a nice contribution to us as you're available from time to time. Number 513 is your RAAM number. And we want to say, first of all, there'll be no giveaway in today's show, sadly. Why? Because Jim has all that software. I don't have it. I could, I guess, but I never bothered downloading it, so I don't have the stuff that does it. But we still want to hear from you out there. So we'd like to have your comments. If you don't have a question or a comment, just tell us where you're from, where you're located. Those of you who are out there, just put it in the comments there, put it in there, and we'll see where everybody's at today. We'd like to do that. Well, Shu, I'm excited about today's guests. I hope you are.
Very much so. This is, in particular, one lady who I really, really am inspired by.
Well, yes, I was looking through my. Go ahead, Shu.
No, I'm very excited with that you finally managed to line up this lady and her team.
Okay, well, yeah, and I was looking through my photo catalog, and I run into this photo I took back in 2008 on the race across America, and I'm sure we'll find out who the other person is in the photo, but I thought that was delightful. Then, Shu, Meg Hakkinen was sending me reports during the Race Across America 2019 And we are at the top of Wolf Creek Pass. It is raining. It is snowing. It is cold. And Meg sent me this report.
This is inside the vehicle. You can kind of see out this window here. Everything's wet. Visibility is pretty bad right now, and it's hailing on us. But our rider is happy, isn't she? She was loving it.
I like a bit of that. There's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing.
Okay. And we have with us Eddie Brocklesby. Eddie, welcome to the Ohio RAM show again. You're dry and warm now, I presume.
That wasn't me. That's our hill.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. All you English people look alike.
Lovely to see you, Shu.
And you too, Eddie.
Another Serpentine member of the past, weren't you?
I was a long time ago.
Glad to have you with us. You've got some friends with you. You want to introduce them?
I certainly do. So, there we are. There's Hills, my partner. Yes, you saw her twice in those photographs. And then brilliant to have Stacey on board as well. That's Brian Welsh's wife, and we're Just Sweat No Tears team now.
Okay. Well, I've got some farming in my blood, and I think Shu does as well. Glad to have you with us. Eddie, well, first of all, I want to say something. We're glad to see Hilary here. I think she gave us quite a interesting time on RAM 2019 with an accident and had us all kind of holding our breath for a long time, hoping you would be okay. On a scale of how should we say, 1 to 10, Hilary, how well have you recovered?
Well, I've covered really well. Everyone says I've recovered really, really well, partly because of my fitness, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I still have issues, and I've still got to get my riding back up to speed. But I'm out there and I'm going again.
No, that's
it hasn't stopped me. It hasn't.
And how far did you cycle yesterday? How far did you go yesterday?
We did 101 miles with 6,000 feet of climbing. That's nearly 3,000 meters of climbing.
Okay. So, Edie, tell me about what your fitness program is all about and how you got involved in it.
I didn't do anything until I was 50, and then went to watch a friend doing the marathon up in Nottingham, and came back to my husband and said, I'd love to do a half marathon. And he said, you couldn't even run 2 miles. And that, for me, was the ultimate challenge and goal. And that was the beginning of my running. He died only a couple of years after that. And it was that small group of running friends that proved so valuable to me. That I could go out with them. I could talk if I wanted to and not if I didn't. So absolutely invaluable through, a major crisis in life. So that was the beginning in I can't remember what year, but I was 50.
Okay, so it's never too late to start, is it?
Absolutely not. No, I'd done very little before that. Yeah.
Okay, I need to interrupt because we got Jim here with us. Jim, thank you.
Hi. Sorry I'm late.
Well, it's not your fault. We just but does this mean, Jim, that you have your software handy and we can do a giveaway?
Definitely. We've got it all set up and we're ready. They'll need to start doing their comments now, though.
Okay, well, let's get some comments in here. You people out there, don't be shy. Let us know where you're at. If you make a comment, you get thrown in a hopper for a drawing we'll do at the end of the show. I don't know what we'll do if we don't get any comments, Jim.
We'll make something up.
Make something up.
We'll make it up as we
What
go.
we're doing today, let me get myself up here. We're giving away a T-shirt.
Definitely.
Ohio Ram Show T-shirt.
Beautiful shirt.
And yeah, it's really comfortable. And you can wear with pride that you are a supporter of this show. So where are we at? I was rushing around here getting some last things together so fast. I said, oh boy, we got Jim and Shu to carry us through. So you guys help me out here with some questions of Edie or whatever.
Eddie, you started out as a runner. When did you start cycling? Because I know you got big into triathlon, but what drew you to expand and move into cycling and triathlon?
I didn't seriously get into it for quite a few years, but actually I did go over to Velo City, which is a sort of over in Montreal, a big conference about cycling. And there we had the great opportunity of going, if you were a conference attendee, of going out with the Mounties on bikes. And that was just such fun. So I think that has underpinned that, the knowledge that, yes, cycling was fun, particularly in a group of people. So yeah, it steadily became, after, having done marathons with Serpentine Running Club again, of then going into triathlon and doing London Triathlon. I think Crystal Palace was my first one. So that was really
my first triathlon too.
I saw that.
There you go. What a coincidence.
There's too much history on the Serpentine website, isn't there?
Yeah, for Lee's benefit, Crystal Palace Triathlon is a little sprint triathlon, but it's got quite a big hill in it that you have to do lots of times on the bike and on the run as well. There you go. First.
And we still have 3 Silverfit sessions in exactly the same venue. I'm sure we can talk about Silverfit a bit later, but yeah, fabulous venue.
Excellent stuff. Which do you prefer out of all the 3 sports? Bearing in mind that you're on a cycling show.
Yeah, no, cycling without any doubt. I think the older you get, maybe a little bit more minimizing of running, and certainly swimming. I mean, not my favorite, and I do it, but I've never been a good swimmer, full stop.
Yeah, I find I'm pretty much in line with that as well, I think.
But Stacey, you're a good swimmer, aren't you? I still mute.
Stacey's very quiet, but this is what you get for being South African. She grew up in the water.
I think it does bode well.
Stacey, your microphone doesn't work very well, my dear. You're quite quiet.
Oh, and she's the most techie of all of us.
How's that? Is that any better? Okay. It does give a huge boost to sports if you grow up and you're at least exposed to sports, and it would be great to actually use this as an opportunity to encourage people that have got kids to expose them to a large number of different sports. But for those, and I think this is the prime thing here, even if you skip that one, as Eddie's shown, if you missed it as a child, it doesn't mean that you can't achieve as an adult. It just makes it an easier transition, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, swimming is definitely warm water sport, I think, not cold water. I'm not a Wim Hofmann method person. Warm water. I'll go cycling in any weather, but swimming is warm water, definitely.
Eddie, since Stacey has kind of alluded to some of the sort of age involved in taking up sport, I'd love to know how maybe you could use this opportunity to explain a little bit about Silverfit and how that came about, and why you think it's important for anybody of any age to take up sport and how Silverfit helps them.
I mean, number one, absolutely essential. We've got an aging population, haven't we? And, you know, I passionately believe that we need our healthier, aging people to stay as active as possible. So, you know, we talk about health span, and that means living longer, but also staying fitter at the same time. So we started Silverfit partly as a sort of after the London Olympic Games, which were so exciting. And, you know, it certainly stimulated a group of Serpentine members, to actually set up the charity and move it into being Silverfit. So we started again, not surprisingly, in Hyde Park with a small number of people getting active, but we've now expanded significantly. So we have what we call a social sandwich. People meet up, and this is absolutely crucial. They socialize, then they go off and do an activity of choice. So they may be walking, they may be walking football, they may be cheerleading with the pom-poms, Pilates, you know, a wide range of activities. And then absolutely crucially, they get back and they socialize again together. So what we found is it's a really successful model. It's the socializing, interestingly, because we keep quite good data. So it's the socializing that keeps people coming back. And that is so important. It keeps them aging more healthily.
And I saw you coped very, very well with the lockdown as well. You moved everything online and was still able to keep that relationship with the people coming along. How did people find that?
Oh, I think, you know, we yes, enormously beneficial. I mean, partly that when you're doing a Zoom thing, you can sometimes see the other people doing it and it's the same friends. We also kept going with a lot of the outdoor activities of the Nordic walking, the walking football, and Tai Chi doing outdoors as well. So I think a combination of the outdoor activities and the Zoom opportunities and the, you know, the other videos. I think we did about 100, or was it 800? I can't remember. Sorry, I wasn't doing videos that people, and they're still on YouTube. You know, you can do a half an hour of Pilates with them. So yeah, I mean, a really determined effort to keep people as fit as we possibly could.
And how many of your Silverfit participants have you managed to persuade to join a RAAM team?
No, I'm going to let somebody else talk about the RAAM team for 2023. Come on, Stacey. Or Hills.
What's happening in 2023?
Well, Hills, do you want to take it or do you want me to?
Well, you can. We're doing it again, aren't we?
Yeah. So JSNT is a great supporter of people achieving goals, and one of the big ones is that age should be no limit or no excuse not to take part and not to achieve. So very, very chuffed for Brian to have extended that invite and ask 3 ladies here plus Nanette, who's not able to join, to form a team where the baby of the team has just turned 50. So I realized, like Eddie, you know, maybe it's start as something great at 50, who knows? But we want it to be a great platform to show the barriers, launch a couple of key messages. There's some links that Eddie's going to refer to as well. But cycling, as you get a little bit more mature, is beneficial. It's social. It's active. Lots of huge benefits, and there's a few strap lines that Eddie can bring in as well. So yeah, so JSNT Legends will be cycling in RAAM 2023. There we go. It's official. No backing out now, ladies. And Eddie will be Eddie will have a certain number that's not very common in cycling in front of it. So Eddie will be 80 years young in 2023.
Wow.
And we will have 180, 170, no 60s, and 250s. 75.
Awesome.
So,
wow,
I would
very impressive.
A new focus for us is very much going to be on the menopause. In Silverfit, we thought initially that we were going to be 60 plus, and it was public health that asked us to reduce that age to 45 in order to get premenopausal women more active. So I'm really excited to try and push this one as well. Is that all right, Stacey?
It is indeed, because it's a word, and it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. So sorry for those people that are going, oh, can't look at that now. It's really important. The fitter you are before, the better that you cope during the big M word. Should we use the M word or menopause, whichever you're more comfortable with? And as Hills has shown as well, if you're fit before an accident, it definitely helps in recovery. And it's been proven time and time again that getting fit, even as you say, Eddie, as young as 45, it makes a difference. And starting anywhere is a benefit. And Hills, you've got a lovely example of, if you're not used to sport, we're not recommending, because I'm sure it's against doctors' advice, that you jump straight into a RAAM team. Hilary, you've got a way for those people that aren't quite at that level of fitness. People can start anywhere, and you had a great example if you want to share it.
Which one was that? I've got some examples.
The walking one.
Oh yes. Well, I live at the top of the hill, and I just think if you can walk up the hill, just walk up the hill, and then you can walk down it and come back up again. Just do what you can. Set a little target. Every little target builds towards a big goal, and all you have to do is record it and just praise yourself every time you do it, and go a little bit further each time.
Yep.
Until you end up doing RAAM.
Yes, precisely.
Not enough.
Will you ladies be raising money for charity as well whilst you're doing your RAAM? I assume Silverfit, but any others?
I don't know. I think we need to think about others, but yes. Silverfit. Because we did the last time when we did it in RAAM, and I think yes, it's good anyway to highlight, isn't it, the healthier aging aspect of RAAM.
And the big thing of
I was going to say, Stacey, please promise that none of you fall off this time.
We can't promise that, but we are doing a lot of work. We will be doing a lot of work on looking at risks, and what I really, really love about the Silverfit aspect as well is mobility. And this is an advantage because the baby, the team's 50, which is not considered to be 21. We can have a look at people raise concerns about, you're too old, you're too mobility. So what we can do is we can focus a lot on mobility and overall fitness, and do what we can to stay on the bikes. And we've got a great team around us. And I'm just going to use that as an opportunity to hook back round to Eddie. One of the great things, reasons to plug Silverfit as well, and Jason T, of course, is the social aspect. So if you're not quite at the RAAM level, you're a little bit off that level, and you feel a little bit scared about it, go and do it with a friend. Connect with Silverfit, as you say, Eddie. The stuff's on YouTube, and do it with a friend. It is so much easier, and the social aspect of sport, getting fit, going on challenges, addressing challenges, is the social aspect. And as we get a little bit older, it's a little bit harder to make new friends, make those new connections, stay fit, get fit, try a new sport. You know what, Eddie keeps reminding me, it is so much easier if you do it with a friend, join a group, and the social aspect of aging and fitness. She was great at reminding me of that today. So you see, Eddie, it's worked. It's in my noggin. It's in there.
Would you also extend that to, from going out to do some sort of challenge or a sporting activity with a friend to maybe joining a crew? Do you have crew lined up for 2023, or are you looking for maybe some more mature ladies to join the crew?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that would be absolutely great. But Stacey, sort of talk about next year first for them. I mean,
so next year, so for 2022, there's the Brian's showing that it's not only older women that can achieve, but it's older men as well. So we're being a little bit inclusive, and we're including the men on this one. So Brian's going to go in, and he's got a lovely mixed team in terms of age, experience, genders, and it's female heavy. Says something, doesn't it? And he's going to go for RAAM solo in 2022, and he's not going to let a broken shoulder bone or clavicle or rib stop him. So we're focusing on mobility and older people. So
are we allowed to say how old Brian is next year? What category is he racing in?
He's over 60. He'll be in the 63 category. There you go. So not quite 21.
Well, and actually, that category is shaping up to be very, very interesting from what I've seen from people who have signed up for RAAM.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Jim, I don't think you've had a chance to update it, but we had 28 solo RAAM the last time we looked.
Correct.
Wow.
Which is quite remarkable.
Yes, definitely.
Let me say, I was talking to Eddie a little bit about this before we went on the air. My own experience of being pretty sick for about 2 months back in 2019. When I got out of hospital, I went out for a walk, and I made it to the end of the block and back. I was so defeated. I almost cried. I said, what has happened to me? Mm-hmm. And I had to make serious adjustments in my thinking that the end of the block was a real goal for me. Could I make it to the end of the block in the next driveway? Mm-hmm. Could I make it to the driveway after that? That's, for a guy who used to think, a 100-mile ride was something nice to do in the morning, this was a terrible come down. Mm-hmm. But I can't say I've dealt with it as well as I might, but that's what I had to do. I had to change my thinking that there was new goals that had to be set. Just a thought.
Also, go ahead.
I think that's a great share, Lee, and I hope that it motivates a lot of people. And I think it fits into beautifully what Hilary Hills was saying earlier on, is when something does happen, it's your life resilience that allows you to step into that space, and rather than allow it to rule your life and dominate your life and restrict it, is to go, well, that wasn't exactly on the plan, was it? But hey-ho, one foot in front of the other. And some days, as you say, there's the mental health aspect, there's the physical fitness aspect. And some days, just putting your shoes on, that's a goal. Making it to the front door, that's a goal. Making it to the end of the driveway. So it all depends on where you are. And I think this is where the point that was being made about the social aspects, telling somebody, I made it to the door. Don't beat yourself up. It's I made it to the door. It's a positive. There's those little milestones, and it's also very easy, Lee, as you say, if your previous point of reference was 100K, because we've got a great quote for you if we bring it in later on, is 100K. Making it to the door may not seem like a lot, but given in your current scenario, your current situation, it's a lot, because sometimes it does take a lot to get you there. So making a record and keeping track of it is a great motivator to, on a dark day, you can sit there and go, well, actually, this time 2 months ago, I couldn't even make it to the front door. You know what? I'm now going around the block and going down the pub to have a drink with my mate. So keep a record, and a great Shirley. That's very personal.
Unfortunately, I don't have a pub very close here.
You can make one up. We'll go virtual.
This is not England where there's a pub around every corner. I found out cycling with you guys in England, you never found a pub you could pass up, I think.
She's done a couple of marathons like that.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we still got an opportunity for some people to win this T-shirt like I have on. I know if you just tell us where you're at.
Yes, definitely.
Where you're located, nothing else. That gets you the pot, and we haven't got enough people in there to make it really fun,
there
Jim.
You go.
Yet.
No, we want to give a shout out to Jane. She's out in Borrego training. The voice of Ohio RAAM, Gregory Zuber, Ruth Davies. Thanks for watching. I had a question. I don't know if it was touched on before I was able to join. What, as getting older people, older athletes, what should we change in our diet, like that kind of thing? Is there any good advice on that point?
I think it's fairly clear, isn't it, the need for veg, for fruit, and protein. And I think I'm reasonably good on those three fronts. I remember having had cod liver oil since I was a child in the 1940s, and I still do.
Wow.
Every morning with my pure lemon juice. But I think, yes, there are other things, but it is that sort of lifestyle, isn't it? Of fairly non-fatty, non-rubbish foods, if possible. Yeah.
Eddie, my grandmother used to swear by a custard cream and a little glass of sherry. Would you recommend that? She lived to 95.
Yes, I would. Yes. I mean, one of the other things we haven't talked about, my grandmother was Churchill's cook throughout the war.
Wow.
So, she's written cookery books. And yes, I mean, her lifestyle was relatively healthy. She was 96, I think, when she died. So, good, healthy food. A lot of it coming from the farms in Chartwell, actually. Yeah.
I think when you get older, you need to eat possibly more often. That's not so much, but you need to keep piling it in.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
There's one thing that interests me about Silverfit in particular, about how the types of activities that you've got people getting involved in are quite sort of everyday things, and quite sort of things that anybody can do. You don't need special equipment. It's just a bit of fun with some friends. One thing I'm very conscious of approaching that menopause age is the need for strength and conditioning work, particularly around looking after your bones and making sure that we don't break. Is there anything that you do specifically with Silverfit to help people with that sort of strength and conditioning? Is that something that you recommend?
Well, I think most of the activities that we do would have the benefit of the lack of falls, because that is the biggest cost, isn't it, to our NHS, is falling over. So the more you can work on balance, whether it's in Pilates or back to the cheerleading, it is crucial, isn't it? We're not doing gymnastics in our cheerleading, but we are dancing, we're having fun, and we are balancing too. So I would have said that would be one of the key ones, Shu, in order to avoid falling over, because that's the big one.
It's actually quite topical, isn't it? I saw that Elton John has just had to pull out of his latest concert because he's fallen on his hip, hasn't he?
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's like it's supposed to be his final concert actually before really retiring, and he's had to delay it because he's now having to recuperate and have various operations. So be careful when you're dancing around. No dancing around, jumping on pianos and
no. But the key is making it fun so that people will keep coming. I remember going to a sort of public health conference, and I was speaking at about 4:00 in the afternoon after a whole days full of speeches. I was the first person to mention the word fun. And I just think it's so important, to keep people active, to keep them enjoying life. You've got to make an opportunity for having fun, I think. So yes, we're right. You're right, Shu. Let's keep the cheerleading as minimal. But Bollywood fitness, for instance, is very popular too, and that's relatively, it's not as you would imagine it. It's adapted for older people.
What's the most what's the most popular activity?
I suppose because we focused on it because it's outdoor, then it is Nordic walking, with poles that actually do increase the body strength and the core stability and that sort of thing, and balance, crucially. Yeah. I think,
yeah.
Well, gee, this has been a great discussion, Jim. And we still have a chance if you'd like to. Maybe no one wants this T-shirt, Jim.
Yep.
Do you think?
I don't know. We've got a few more people watching than have commented. So
yeah,
if you just
say you better
hi.
hurry up because there is a delay in Facebook and YouTube.
Yes.
So if you you could make a comment when we've already run the board here.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Get in there, let us know where you're at so we can get that in there. And if you're watching on YouTube, where is it? Down here somewhere. Hit that subscribe button so you can stay in tune. And I never know where to point. And if you're on YouTube up there somewhere, if you're not following, there's a follow button.
Yep.
You can hit that and stay in touch with us in the future. We've got about 1,400 followers in YouTube. Did you notice that? And Facebook, Jim?
Yes, it's awesome that we're doing and because of shows and people like we have on today, it's awesome.
Right. And most of our people watch the recorded version, not live. So we haven't figured out a way to get them in the T-shirt contest, but
not yet. We're working on it.
This is not a wet T-shirt contest. This is just a ordinary.
They wouldn't want to see us in wet T-shirts, Lee. Come on.
Yeah, I don't think. Okay. Listen,
we lose
Jim,
followers.
Let's not put off the pain any longer. Let's run this and see if somebody can win this T-shirt.
All right. Let me get myself set up here.
I'm glad you made it in here. I just told people that we weren't going to do this. So
yeah, my son and daughter-in-law were having their virtual baby shower, so that outranked the show today.
Yeah, I'm sorry about. We got to figure out a way to get this scheduling better. I don't know.
Oh, no worries at all. Let me take that off real quick. Bear with me, people. Sorry, I'm a little.
Can I just say that I'm getting messages, Stacey, from your husband about a possible member of crew that's already volunteering. A rather valuable one, Hills, who was vital at the point of your accident.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Okay, let's run this thing.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get that queued up. Hopefully it won't pick my little comments on the Ohio
Yeah,
RAAM.
I was going to say.
If it does, we will draw again.
Come on.
Who's it going to be? Ruth Davies.
Ruth Davies, great.
Definitely. Send us the information.
Yeah.
Winner at OhioRAAMShow.live, and we'll get that T-shirt to you.
We need your address, your shipping address, and your size, women's or men's, small, medium, and large. I think they tend to run just a little small, Jim. So, I hope did Sherry get in on the contest?
I didn't see the name.
Here we go.
Probably not. Yep.
Okay, sorry about that, Sherry, if you got in a little late, but glad to have you with us.
Definitely.
As always. Like I was saying, they tend to run just a tad small, so get your name, address, shipping information to us, and we'll get those off to you. Hey, everybody, this has been great. Don't you think, Jim?
Oh, I think so. I am glad I got to join and listen to these three great ladies.
Yeah.
Lee was so worried about us three women dominating, weren't you, Lee? So, were you right or wrong?
Well, I had Sue come in there. I know she would defend my honor, whatever I have left of it. Okay. Yeah, Ruth, get that information to us.
Yes.
We'll get that to you. It takes a little while to get the printing done, blah blah blah, but we'll get it to you.
Lee, when the live video is over and you post this on the various media, will you be able to put some more details about Silverfit so that our international audience?
Oh yes, I should say that.
Up?
Can you pull that overlay up that's got the URL on it, Jim?
Yes, that's what I'm going for right now.
OhioRAAMshow.com. Below the video, you'll see show notes about. We need to drop that down just a tad, don't we, when we redo it?
Yes, I'll redo it in the new format.
Okay, and so it doesn't get covered up there.
Yeah.
But OhioRAAMshow.com. You'll see in the show notes a link to Silverfit, a link to Eddie's Facebook page, a link to her. We didn't say anything about your book, Eddie, but you do have a book. It's called what? Irongran?
Irongran, yeah.
Yeah, it's on there. By golly, if you want to get the electronic version, it's pretty cheap. And
hey, this lady needs to pay for RAM. You want to go full price on the whole
That's
book.
right, definitely.
Yeah.
Buy the book. Buy the book. Buy the book.
Yeah.
Get the hard copy.
There you go, Irongran.
Yeah, awesome.
And I have had Eddie. I have had more than one person tell me that it's a very easy book to read. Feels like they're talking to you. And people have told me that they've made it one of their reading things, a book of the week in their reading clubs, in sports. Sports people have done it. So there you go.
Is there an audio version? That would be something I'd be very interested in putting on my earphones for my next cycle ride.
And I'm just so privileged in who did that. It's Charlotte Emerson, Annie Emerson's twin sister. Annie is the BBC triathlon commentator and my coach. So it's Charlotte Emerson who's on the audio recording. And she said she'd sit there sometimes recording in Shepperton with tears sort of streaming. Hours and hours it took. So yeah, do listen. I couldn't listen. I was in tears when I was listening.
Katie, I'm going to download it next. That's brilliant. I didn't know. That's cool.
I was telling him, Jim, some of the training you and I have been taking, we're told to stay in control of our show. And that hasn't, we've lost it here today.
There you go.
And that's
okay.
In a good way.
Can't think of a better group to lose it to.
Oh, exactly.
And that's been great. But we do need to get out of here, I'll tell you. Thanks, Shu, for doing what you can. I know you're a busy person, but join us as a partner here anytime that you're able. We'll just keep sending you the links, and when you can, you will. Oh, next week.
Yes.
I forgot. Next week.
We've got a title, don't we? Yes. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, this is going to be England week, month in the Ohio RAAM show. Guy Stapleford doing a RAAM 2022 will be with us. And we're looking forward to that. I think he's got some exciting things to talk about as well. And Jim, I am going to end this thing. Goodbye, everybody. Hey,
Goodbye.
Don't go away, everybody.
Yeah, hang on.
Just hang in there for a little bit.
This is Gregory Zuber, thanking you for watching and sharing.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.